All right, everybody, Cinephile Mike is here, and it is episode 16 of Oscar Rewind Season 2, my bi-weekly series of videos dropping every Tuesday and Friday where I revisit the films that look at the work of this past year's Oscar nominees and winners. I dig deep into those IMDb profiles, and my hope is that you will discover a new, older favorite, or maybe revisit something you haven't seen in a while. As always, I'll be discussing the Oscar connection, awards history for the film, box office information, the critical response, and as always, these reviews are spoiler free. Now, before we jump in, quick plug, do me a favor, click that subscribe button. You definitely want to be a part of all the cinematic goodness that is coming your way. And speaking of that, in a rhyming way, happy May. New month, new theme. It is Actor Month. Yes. All of May's films will look at the nominees and winners' performances across the various acting categories. Kicking off the month, I am discussing Sony Pictures releasing's Center Stage. Written by Carol Heikkinen and directed by Nicholas Hytner, the film was released in May of 2000. During the film's theatrical run, the film made $17,200,925 domestically and an additional $9,185,016 internationally for a worldwide take of $26,385,941. Critically, this film is divided. While it is rotten on the critical side with a 41% coming from 80 reviews, it is certified fresh on the popcorn meter with a double percentage at 82% coming from over 100,000 audience reviews. Now, award season wise, this film only touts one sole nomination and win, which was for Susan Stroman and Christopher Wheeldon, who won the 2000 American Choreography Award for Outstanding Achievement in a Feature Film. And that is all she wrote for awards. So, where is the connection to this past year's Oscars? Well, many may recognize the woman that is all the way to the left on this poster, right there. That is Zoe Saldana. Saldana this year was nominated and won her first Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, a prize that she pretty much dominated for the entirety of award season for the film Emilia Perez. In the role of Rita, an unhappy lawyer, Saldana had her chance to act, sing, and dance her way through the flick. 25 years ago, she danced and acted in this flick about a group of dreamers and dancers in New York City. And given that she was the dominating performer this season, I figured what better way than to start with her. So, what's this film about? Jody, played by Amanda Schul, is one of the newest admits to the American Ballet Academy in New York. This prestigious dance academy that feeds into the American Ballet Company, the main company for Lincoln Center in New York, is run by famed director Jonathan, played by Peter Gallagher. Now, joining the very naive uh, and Midwestern bred Jody are Afa, played by Saldana, an attitude based East Coaster, Eric, played by Shaquem Evans, and Washington State born Charlie, played by Sasha Radetsky. These four are quickly ingratiated into the school alongside Jody and Eva's roommate Maureen, played by Susan May Pratt, the one with the best technique in the school, studying since age 9, and Sergei, a fifth-year Russian student, played by Ilya Kulik, and Maureen's two friends, Anna, played by Megan Pepin, and Emily, played by Victoria Bourne. Now, as we follow this group over the course of the year in the program, we will see as they train, have their dreams, sometimes dash, struggle to overcome varied issues such as first loves come and gone, unsupportive parents, culture clashes, and some other heatier topics, that aren't necessarily coming out of left field when you put a bunch of artistic performers together in a group. Ultimately, we will follow to the year's end workshop, and it is here when we will see who from this group will have their chance to be hired by ABC, picked up by another company, or remain a student and maybe not be ready to move on. Along the way, we are introduced to a collective of other colorful characters, such as a domineering parent, played by Deborah Monk, a team of teachers, including the likes of performers such as Donna Murphy, Lisa Ligulo, and Robert Montano, and the company's superstar Cooper Nielsen, played by Ethan Steifel, who will do more than his fair share to mix the mud, both with the students and with those behind the scenes. Look, in all, while the film does center around Jodie and the struggles she goes through both professionally and romantically, this is really more of an ensemble film that uses its dance academy as a backdrop for some intense drama. Not much elevated past that of a primetime teen soap, kind of akin to Gossip Girl or One Tree Hill, where we get some of the interplay by the adults, and, here, because of the film, we work towards a rapid conclusion. Script wise, sadly, the film is bloated and afraid to go too deep. Maybe they didn't have the time to. I mean, in addition to some of the other issues I addressed, there are some other serious disorders that some of these dancers have, and unfortunately are too prominent in the industry sometimes, such as the emotional toil, the physical injury, the eating disorders, and any one of these would have been fascinating to explore how it, psychologically impacts the characters, but a lot of them are just kind of skimmed over to get to the next dance performance. And the other problem, with this film, what is so often done with films that feature the performing arts, while the script is not solid, I mean, those with the acting training, like Gallagher, Murphy, Monk, they make this work. But the bulk of the students in the group, Schuler, Radetzky, Kulik, Stifel, while phenomenal dancers, their acting leaves something to be desired, which is why the non dancing and acting roles are critical. Now, there are a few that do that balance well. Pratt, for one, who is an actress, not a dancer, had no professional ballet training, and had a body double used in many of the sequences. But she had a few credits under her belt, and there are some scenes where she really needs to stand up to some of those more seasoned performers, and she does well. And I'm saving for the last, obviously, in case you're wondering. Hey, Mike, what about Zoe? Well, Saldana, look, while a little raw and a little bit over the top, this was her first performance and it was a solid one. I remember seeing this film when it came out 25 years ago and being impressed by her and wondering what we were going to see next. And I mean, look at the film career that she's had. She's gone on to appear in some of the biggest grossing epic films of all time. These two are what make the drama of the film work when we're not on the dance floor. And then you have to wonder if one of them, maybe in that central role versus Schuler, would have made the film work a little bit better. Schuler isn't awful, but it's a bit cringy at times when she's in some of the dance sequences, you know. I mean, not sorry, not the dance sequences. Some of the acting scenes are a little more cringy for her, and I'm waiting for her to get to the next dance sequence, which are very much worth watching the film for. Of all of the dance sequences, and there are a lot, the Red Hot Chili Peppers cover of Stevie Wonder's Higher Ground, that number is a delight. And Susan Stroman's choreographed number set to such songs as Jamiroquai's Canned Heat and Michael Jackson's The Way You Make Me Feel in the finale. Look, the whole soundtrack is a fun, what's what of late 90s, early 2000s pop. The ballet sequences planted throughout are expertly executed, the likes of Stifel and his frequent ballet partner, played by Julie Kent, whose own role in the drama I didn't reference in the summary. It's there. It's not needed. Look, Center Stage is a fun film. You can't take it too seriously, despite how they want you to. It doesn't work if you really look at it. Focus on the seriousness of it, and you are going to feel let down. If you can kind of excuse it for what it's attempting, you know, the dancing's phenomenal. It's a hard film to rate. It really is. So, really, I'm going to kind of come down the middle of the road here and say that this is a 3-star film. I mean, there's a worse couple ways to spend a few hours. And, 25 years ago, I probably would have ranked this film a little higher if I didn't appreciate film the way I do now that I did then. So there you have it. If you'd like to see Center Stage, as of this recording, it is available for digital rental or purchase on most platforms, but there is no streaming information available at this time. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Oscar Rewind. There's so much that I'm going to get to. If you like what you heard here, please click the button, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it, spread the word. As always, you can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd, and find lots of great additional content on my website, cinephilemike.com. All right. Happy watching, everyone. And until next time, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.